What's going on, guys? So, it's Black Thor here. Before you get into the podcast, there would not be no video version for this podcast, for this episode. Only reason why the video and the audio got messed up for some strange reason, and I was able to salvage the audio, but I couldn't salvage the video. So, the next episode, we're gonna give you guys the audio and the video together again. It's just that some wonky happened and it just didn't work out the way it's supposed to. So sit back, relax, and enjoy it. Enjoy the podcast, listen to it, and stay tuned for the next episode. Episode 4. We're gonna get into some good stuff on that one, all right? Much love.
You are now listening to Resolve Dispute with your host Black Thor and Sweet Pea. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
What's going on, mama?
Hey, son, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm good. Just relaxing, chilling. How about
Yeah,
yourself?
I'm trying to calm the fuck down. That's all I can say. We all started hitting it off like early right now, so drink in hand. The window is open behind me, so some air can flow up in this bitch. Cause it ain't gonna be pretty.
Hey, I feel like I see you drinking on some wine there. What type of wine are you drinking on?
That is white Riesling, late harvest.
Okay.
Nice little white with a sweet little twang to it.
All right. You know me. I'm drinking on some bourbon. Got my Buffalo Trace.
All right, all right, all right.
I also got a brew next to
Mm.
it, along with some water.
Well, I'm still sipping on my Walmart special, so we good.
Actually, exactly. So, you know, we're gonna be talking about relationships today.
Yeah.
You know, and my mom got a dope story. It's dope, but it's funny. It's crazy. It's a story. It's a legitimate story.
It's
So
beyond ridiculous, but we gonna take it there.
exactly, it's everything that you would want in a story. It takes you up, takes you down. It turns you around, turn you this way. It's everything that you would want in a story. So by that being said, go ahead, mama, tell the people the story.
Well, on several times my son has mentioned that, I am a newly single woman again, and I was in a relationship for 3.5 years. And throughout that time, we were engaged and we had purchased properties together for a business and our home together as well. And if you remember on a previous podcast, I told you guys, that stop buying property together, stop buying cars together because the law does not have provisions for you as a significant other, a fiance, or anything of that nature. And the reason that I said that is because I know I'm going through this drama right now. It doesn't matter how well versed you are in the law and how many provisions that you put into contracts and things of that nature, because you kind of think that those things are going to save you. But when you're dealing with a perverse person that has some mental challenges, those things that do not really help you. It puts you through a lot of BS, And so first I want to say everyone, male or female, deserve to find a love that they can have, hold, cherish, and help take them to the next level of their being. And not only do I believe that you deserve it, I believe that it's needed in this lifetime. We were not meant to walk alone, so that being the case, so ex fiance, ex relationship, we ended it a little bit over 6 months ago, and we were able to take care of all major property issues, business things of that nature, and it was not a problem. But the one thing that was holding up the true end of the relationship was our home. because we had purchased a condo together to actually live in. And so this was the one thing that we really jointly owned with both our names on it. And both were responsible for the mortgage. So as the relationship ended, the person decided that they wanted it completely out, and so, you don't have to tell me twice. It's all good. It's over. It's over. So, wrote the check for all expenses that was paid into the property by him, and, contract signed saying that, you no longer have any rights, privileges, or anything of that nature. Ownership, all property is gone. Quick deed to me. We're all good. Next conversation comes up, I want my name off the mortgage. Now, I don't know if we remember what has been going on with the economy lately, but at that time, inflation was going up. They was raising up interest rates on everything, and we had agreed that I would, assume the mortgage at a later date. But, a week after the whole situation is over with and things are signed, I want my name off the property now. Okay, no worries. We'll take care of it. Started the assumption process on November the 16th. So from November the 16th up until today, this has been a problem. And I have been going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I'm going to sign the papers. I'm not going to sign the papers. I want this relationship back. You did me wrong. I can't believe you did this, that, and the third. And, the bottom line for me is that I was not the cause of the end of the relationship. The cause of the end of the relationship was the person said they wanted to have space. And so, in you're telling me that you need to have space, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, you can have all the space you want. Relationship is over. We don't have to go back and forth. You don't want to be here. I don't want you here. It's all good. Um, that being said, we decided, to go ahead and separate and divvy up what we need to divvy up. So we sold everything, split everything down the middle, and come to find out, because woman's intuition, you know, women believe in your intuition. When something is telling you that's not the whole story, believe that it's not the whole story. And men, you have the same thing. So trust in yourself. When something is telling you something not right, something's not right. So I decided that I wanted to find out more about what was really going on. And so the detective in me decided that I wanted to pull up cell phone records and just go down the line of the phone log, call log, and find out what was really happening. So I'm watching this and I'm watching it, and I get to a point where I see this number is constantly popping up, and it's popping up for longer periods of time. So it went from 5 minutes to 15 minutes, from 15 minutes to 30, from 30 to an hour. Last one that I saw was 2 hours and 30 minutes. So see, that's caking time. You caking, you trying to get into something or get somebody out of something, in my mind. So I confront him and was like, oh, hold on. Because I dialed the number, got the person's name, and was like, who's this name? And so tried to lie about it a little bit, but again, women believe in yourself. There's power in who you are. I'm like, listen, there's no way you're gonna get away with lying to me about this. Either you tell the truth or it's over for good. In my mind, I knew it was over for good anyway. But this is my story. Here it's over for good. And so now that things are not working out for you, you want to come back. I don't want you back. At no point in my mind did I think that we would ever have a relationship again. But I'm going to play along with this so I can really truly get the information that I need. And so you start spilling your guts. The person start telling me everything that I needed to know. how he approached her because he thought she was fine. He was giving her rides. Apparently, this person did not own a car. And supposedly a bank teller or worked in a bank somewhere in the area that we live in. And so I'm like, okay, okay. So held fast to the ideal that never cheated with this person. But see, to me, your intent was to cheat. And the only reason that you didn't is because you were talking to this woman about me and she's telling you that you're wrong. And that's another problem in my book. So, how is this woman knowing anything about me and I know absolutely nothing about her? So, that sealed the deal for me. No way in hell we're ever going to get back together. Person moves out, he going on about his life, strip coupling it up with the buddies and, paying for things that, most people get for free. And I'm just watching this out the corner of my eye going, oh, you're headed down a terrible, terrible road. Now, mind you, this person is, I'm 55. He's 9 years younger. So you're still of an age where you should know better. So here we are, fast forward to the past 2 weeks. Relationship is over. He's seeing other people doing his thing. I'm seeing other people doing my thing. Finally get the right to close on the property, pull his name off the mortgage and off the deed 100%. And now it's property is totally mine. That paperwork got signed today. So, it does belong to me. But now you are so bad into your situation where the person who you wanted to pursue a relationship with found out that nothing that you had was solely yours. It was a joint venture with me. So she thought she was walking into something that she was not walking into. Only thing that you have that was yours was your business. And that's now, you don't even know if you're going to make payroll for the next month because you have delved so deep down into the business and pulled money out to do stupid shit. You're totally fucked right now. And in the ideal of you being totally fucked right now, and I'm not, because what I have done, it pays to work in your power. It pays to work in your powers, ladies and gentlemen. When all this stuff was going on, I got real deep into who I am. I remodeled the entire condo by myself, painted it, installed backsplashes, put up borders, affirmations for myself to remind me how wonderful that I am. You know, bought new furniture in some areas and, just really made this thing mine. Got rid of every ounce of that person and made it all me. And so now this is mine. I am doing all the things that I need to do in order to empower myself, and you're mad because I haven't missed a beat. My life has not changed. I am doing everything that I need to do to be the wonderful person that I am, and you are spiraling down a hole that you now can't come out of. So you're looking for me to help bail you out because you know the type of settlements that we got when we split the property from the other business ventures. So you know what I have, I know what you should have. You have screwed up everything that you own and now you want me to bail you out. Well, I love you. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. Couples argue, but you got to realize that it was always you. You were the woman that I needed all along. And, I'm sorry. And it's just hard for me to fathom the ideal of you out here being with somebody else. And, y'all laughing and joking and talking in my condo. And that stuff it's just tearing me up. It's just tearing me up. We just need to get back together. You just need to forgive me so everything can be okay. And I'm looking at this person going, who the fuck are you? Who are you? What the fuck does love have to do with it? Please tell me. I'm going to need you guys to really, really throw some comments on this podcast and tell me what the hell I am missing. Now, let me tell you one thing. Please, let me tell you one thing. I know the ladies are out there and it's like, 55-year-old Sweet B got dickmatized. Oh my God. She went all in for it. He must have been laying that. No, ladies. No. No. Gentlemen, I'm sorry. I know that's how y'all feel when shit like this happens. No, that was not the answer. That was not the situation at hand. At best, I was probably satisfied a fourth of the time. Okay, I can't even give him a third. I can't even give him half. I would say a fourth. But what he did, and I don't know if anybody will really stand up and tell the truth on this, it was a mind fuck. That's what it was. You found out who I was, who you thought I was at least, and you played into that. You played into that because you kind of understood where I was coming from because it's hard for independent black women to find decent black men. So you put yourself on a pedestal as to who you thought that I needed you to be, and you work towards who you thought that I needed you to be. But the problem with that, gentleman, is that you cannot keep up that facade. So it started chipping away, chipping away, chipping away, and then you can no longer handle the pressure of the relationship, and you wanted to go out here and do what you wanted to do, pretending like you was Mr. you know slang it, and you're not. So that's another reason why all those extracurricular ventures that you went after did not work. It don't work, baby. That what you're working with, you don't know what to do with it. And it's not you can't you not the gigolo. That is not you. So you could not sustain another relationship. And you pursued them heavily. This is why all your money is gone. Because in order to get the person who you thought that you wanted, you needed to be the one who was financially responsible in every situation. You needed to shell out money. They needed to feel like you was gonna be sugar daddy, and you was stealing money from your own business to do this, and you screwed up. Is what you did. I mean, I'm just gonna call it like I call it. So for the past 2 weeks, going back and forth, saying you're gonna come to the closing, that you're not gonna come to the closing, I actually had a panic attack last weekend, over the situation, because I just got so fed up with the lies and everything that was being told that my heart started beating so fast I thought I was about to have a stroke, you know, and you know, being of presence of mind, I was able to take care of it, took care of myself, and I'm fine. But we get to today, well, we get to Saturday, and you want to have this talk. And the talk is that we are married. We belong together. I'm yours. You're mine. You need to make me a set of keys and let me back in the house because this is us, and can't nobody do anything with us. I don't care who you're with. I don't care what you're doing. It doesn't matter to me. I need you. I need you back. We need each other. And I'm going, are you fucking mad? What do I need out of this relationship? Absolutely, positively nothing. It's not about, I know, men, you're looking at me, you're shaking your head, and you're like, oh, somebody gave it to her and gave it to her good. Mr. Big Dick came in and blew that back out. That's why she ain't going back. No, sir. No, sir. That is that's not it. That's not it. I found me again, is what I did. You know, the therapeutic way that I handled this situation with building back my home, building back my sanctuary, making this a peaceful place for me, allowed me to find myself again. So here we are at the closing today. Right before the closing, pull up, sit in his car. He wants to try to have another conversation with me about us getting back together and telling me what love is. And see, it's very convenient that you can forget. Some things can't be unsaid, some things can't be unheard. So it's very convenient that you want to forget all of the shit that you did. This man called the police on me. I am licensed to carry, and my weapon is registered to me. But when you call the police, because I will not give you keys back because you're not going to torture me by being here. See, you can't do mental warfare on me. I am the queen of mental warfare. So you gotta go. I already know what that is. You gotta go. So you mad that I'm not, and the police can't force me to give you a key. So when you leave, you done. You out. You can't come back. You gotta go. And so the police
You
is
gotta
telling him,
go.
well, the only thing you can do is go to
You
court. But
gotta
then you
go.
came back and you signed paperwork. You signed paperwork that said that you left on your own. Because, like I said, you dealing with somebody who understands the law. So if you're telling me that every penny that you paid into this property, you now want back, I will give it back to you. I'll write you a check. But you're going to tell everybody that you left. And this is the amount of money that I'm paying you and what it's for. And you're going to sign this quick claim deed. And you're going to leave me the fuck alone. But where he got down and nasty and dirty with is that he wanted more money because he's now broke to sign the closing papers, which is what caused me the anxiety because I've already paid you. So, of course, we do what we need to do. So you heard everything you needed to hear to get you down there today to close those sign those papers. But you will never see another dime from me because you didn't earn it. So now I have my restraining order and all those other things that's coming into play here. And I don't understand the ideal of you don't want me, but you upset that somebody else does and not accepting full responsibility for your actions because you chose to pursue another relationship while we were in ours. I didn't tell you to do that. I didn't ask for it. So, your thoughts?
You know what? That is crazy. But we're gonna give you a round of applause because you did your thing on that. We're gonna give you a round of applause. Cause you legitimately went through war and you came back stronger, better, and even more beautiful than you ever been.
Well, that's why I got my fatigues on today because I went on the battlefield again for myself, and this person is standing at the closing at the window crying, and I'm trying to figure out what the fuck you crying for? What the fuck you crying for?
Oh man. You went through some real shit, and he's the
So
one that's crying, and he the one to put you through the bullshit, and he's the one crying.
right, I should have been the one crying. I should have been the one crying.
He's
you are sad.
he's crying because he got to go back to poverty. He's crying because his car about to get repoed. He's crying because he ain't got a place to lay his head at. That's what he's crying about.
Had the audacity to tell me I had to sleep in my car. You don't know what it's like to sleep in your car, do you? Yeah, because you laying up in there in king size beds with king size furniture, eating chocolates and drinking wine. You don't know what that's like. No, motherfucker, I don't, because everything you talking about, I had that before you.
Hey, what you gonna eat for dinner tonight?
Oh, well, I got some crab legs down there boiling and got me a ribeye steak that I'm just gonna throw it on the grill real fast and a baked potato and this celebration dinner right here. This celebration.
So that nigga over there eating McDonald's, you having some surf and turf.
Yeah, damn right. Damn right that's what this is. Cause this is what I see, I'm not this is not a bragging situation because this is nothing to brag about. But understand when you live well, you live well. And no one can take that away from you. You brought nothing to my life. There was no addition from you other than the fact that you were here. And believe it or not, that was enough for me because that's all I needed.
First off,
That's all I needed.
this dude don't realize you been Cadillac swinging. Money bag hanging. As Ric Flair would say, you've been jet flying, limousine riding, son of a gun. That's all you've been doing. That's all you've been doing.
For years.
For
years. And so you could not take that away from me. And so now you mad? You mad because my shit didn't change? As a matter of fact, it got better.
Of course it was going to get better.
While yours should have gotten better, but it got worse because of who you are.
Because you want to be the person.
You got to take responsibility.
Yep, there you go. You did not want to take responsibility. So how is it going to get better? Oh, man. So,
but I just need to know. You gonna have to enlighten me on this whole ideal of if I can't have you, can't nobody else have. Man, it's all a box of chocolates on my counter for Valentine's Day. And that's how this whole situation started. I've been fighting with him ever since. Because somebody else bought me a box of chocolates and a 2 dozen rose display.
Jesus. Oh man. So this dude is just he's just jealous. That's all it is. He's just jealous. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. But you've been out here at the strip club doing your thing and what you do for the longest. And I haven't said a word. I know what you're doing. You wanted to make it a point to tell me because you thought that it was going to make me upset and want you back. Push me further and further away. Had the audacity to ask me if I'm going to give you a kiss. You kiss my entire black ass.
Oh man. So my question is, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to understand this, is how do you feel? Like, how do you let go when somebody else moved on? How do you let go? So in your situation, you already moved on, and I'm pretty sure you've been in a situation where somebody else moved on from you, and how did you let go? Even though you still had love for that person, how did you let go?
Well, see, to be honest with you, I don't deprive myself of love. That's number one. You know, I wouldn't say that I don't have love for this person, but what I will say is that I don't want you. And you got to respect that in a situation when it ends. For me, how do I let go? I accept what is in front of me. I do not try to change the narrative. My head won't let my heart yearn for something that isn't for me. So if you have shown me who you are, I am going to believe you. If you're not for me, then you are against me. And you done showed me you were against me a few times in this whole situation. Number one, how it ended. Number
Right.
two, involving the police. And then number three, you really tried to play mental warfare games with me. You wanted me to feel like I was not who I am and that I have lied to the world with a facade. And the one thing that I hold true is my character. And that's something that nobody can take away from me. I am an honest, truthful person. Everything
Mm.
I do, I try to do it with honesty and truth. My intentions are always good. So you cannot tell me who I am. Listen, I am so done with the way that I wanted to handle this situation and him that the engagement ring that was bought and given to me was bought in my name. My name is on all documentation for this ring. The ring is mine. By law, you cannot get that ring back because it's not in your name. Once you bought it in my name, you can't take a gift back, even if it's an engagement ring. I gave him the ring back. And that's what had him crying. Because now you know I am not in this to say, well, yeah, maybe at some point we can try to do. There is no, yeah, well, maybe at some point we can try anything. I am done. I moved on. And the reason that I moved on and how I was able to move on is because I worked on me. I found Brenda again. All of the things that I let slide trying to pursue this relationship with you based and built on a lie, I found myself again, which allows me to love me more than I love anything and anyone else.
You know, it's crazy, right? Because the way you move on is what you said, accepting what's in front of
Mhm.
you. The person that's in front of you telling you they don't want you, they don't need you, they don't like you, they want to break up, they need a break, whatever it is, you move on from that situation. In the TV shows, in the movies, and all this other stuff, show people this false narrative to make them think that they still can chase up behind whoever they love or want to be around. That's not how it is in the real
It's
world.
not.
I mean, we saw it growing up in the sitcom Family
That's called
Matters.
stalker.
Urkel going against
That's
exactly.
stalker.
We get, like Steve Urkel going against
Yeah.
Laura. You know what I'm saying? She told that man many a times, "Leave me
Mhm.
alone," and she wanted
Mhm.
Stefan, the cooler version of Steve
Right.
Urkel, not Steve
Right.
Urkel. Until like the later, like the last season of Family Matters, she finally caved in and you know and got Urkel. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? At the end of the day, that's wearing somebody down, and you
That's not what you
that's
want.
not
That's
what you
not what
do
you
in a
want. That's not
relationship.
what you want. You want to be the first choice. You want to be.
You never want to be the B nigga. You want
You
to be
want to
the
be the
A.
A. You want to be the A. You want. Go
You
ahead.
because no, I mean it's crazy because even Urkel was turning down the woman who wanted him, and
Right.
Laura didn't. But when Laura finally saw that this woman wanted her, wanted him, finally realized like,
Oh,
hey,
so
somebody else
maybe I
want
should
Urkel.
step up.
She
Maybe
got
I should
jealous.
go ahead and take. And see, and that's the thing. It's like you want to put me in a position, and this is for anybody that's in a relationship where the two people are breaking up. And now the person who chose to do the deed that caused the relationship to end, their situation didn't work out the way that they thought it was going to work out, and they want to come running back, and they want you to be so weak that you will be willing to accept them back. But here's the thing, you don't why would you go back to something that told you that they didn't want you?
Exactly. And I had an ex who told me once we separated and everything else, she literally said it out her mouth. I don't want to be with you no more. I said, okay. I got up, grabbed my things, and I left. Once a couple of months go by and everything else, she reached out to me and tell me, I wish you would have fought for me. In the relationship with her, I remember her telling me the best way to get over someone is getting
Hmm.
under someone else. And so you telling me that you didn't want to be with me made me think that you was
Under
already
somebody
getting
else.
under somebody else. So why the fuck would I chase after you else? Why would I chase you? Why would I want to be with you? Why would I want to fight for this relationship when you literally just came out of the blue? I've been good at you. I ain't said nothing bad. I didn't cheat on you. I ain't do nothing. And all of a sudden, you tell me you don't want to be with me? Made me think that you was already under somebody else.
I agree.
So why would I want to be around you? And the key thing that what my mom said about all of this when she said she found her, you know what that means? You know what that is? The help best way for you to get out of when a person tell you they don't want to be with you no more and you move on, you know what that means you have done? You activated self love. You love yourself before anybody else. So if somebody tell you they don't want to be with you, you activate your self love. You love yourself. You go do things that makes you happy. You spend time with yourself. You do things with yourself. Yeah, you even go to the movies by
I
yourself.
did.
You
I
don't give a
promise you.
damn what anybody
I
else
went to
say.
the movies by myself several times. I went out to dinner by myself. I was hanging out with my girlfriend. And see, and that was the thing that really upset him. Is because, you know, I'm doing these things and I'm getting more men. I'm attracting more men because they're seeing a light. They're seeing something in me that I didn't have while I was with him because he had beat that shit out of me. You don't realize that when somebody is snuffing your torch by overbearing their wishes on you. And then when you're in a relationship and you care about the person, you allow it to happen. Now, I listen. Let me really, 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 really break this down. At one point, he said to me, "You need to find out and ask yourself." No, he said, "You think that I want to use you, and what you need to do is to ask yourself if you really want to wash my drawers again and cook me eggs." And I said, "Well, I think you got it wrong, sir. Because I don't need to wash nobody drawers but my own. And I've been cooking eggs for a very long time, and I prefer making them for one." Now, well, hold on, hold on.
My teacher.
And the
No, go ahead,
last
go ahead.
part of it is that it's not a matter if you want to use me. It's a matter if I want to allow myself to be used by you. So I agree that he didn't just do this on his own. A lot of these things I allowed to have happen. But now that I see who you are, you can no longer do that because you've shown yourself. The lies are behind me. I no longer want to be in that situation. So no, sir. It's not a matter if you want to use me. It's if I want to be used by you and I don't want to be used by you. I might find somebody else that can use me up, as Bill Withers would say. So, but you know what? You won't be that person. You ain't him.
You know, my my freshman teacher, algebra, people used to tell her, you need to do this, you need to do that, like students and everything else. And the first thing come out her mouth to check us was, I don't need to do nothing. All I need to do is stay black, stay fat, and pay taxes. Boy, that realized everything for me. I use that every day. Somebody tell me I need to do something, I'm like, I need to stay black and pay taxes because you can change the fat part, but I need to stay black and pay taxes. That's ain't the
Well, for
damn thing
us,
you can tell
but
me.
for
You
us,
know what
it
I'm
was more
saying?
like the
But
thing
it's
was
just
live, pay taxes, and die. Because those are the three things that's gonna happen in life, no matter what. You're gonna live, you're gonna pay taxes, and then eventually you're going to die. Sorry.
exactly, exactly. And so, people used to say all that. Kids used to say that to her all the time, and that's what you need in relationships. It's straight up like you don't need to do nothing else but to live, pay taxes, and die. It's now when you add somebody into that, is your taxes gonna get cheaper because y'all together or whatever it may be.
Uh-oh.
So
We got cheering
you
in the
know,
house.
it is what it is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Chucky man, he over here doing his thing. Hey, go in the bedroom, mama. Go in the bedroom.
Ooh,
Go in the
ooh.
bedroom. So, um, so my question to you is, what is the biggest lesson that you learned in any
The the
breakup, even this one?
the
What was the
biggest
biggest
lesson that I
lesson that
learned
you
was to
learned
stay true to
from the
myself.
relationship?
Part of the conversation that he and I had on Saturday was that I did change who I was and some of my own cardinal rules for him because I wanted to prove to him that regardless of his background, he was somebody that I wanted to have a relationship with and that I trusted him. And even when I saw some things that I thought was sketchy, I moved forward. And you can't do that. Signs are there for a reason. Again, when somebody show you who they are, you believe them. You don't make excuses for it. You accept it head on. And so I would say staying true to yourself. Remember to love you and look for somebody who really is really interested in who you are and what you bring to the table.
You know, I would say that would be a big lesson for anybody, right? Is staying true to yourself, no matter what. And I would say that's a big lesson for me. I learned very quickly, you you got to stay true to who you is, no matter what. Getting under somebody,
That's that
like that
that's
phrase, to
BS
get over
because
somebody, you got to get
I
under
didn't do
somebody.
that.
That don't
And that's
mean
why I
nothing.
was able to move on and he hasn't. You wanted to drown your sorrows in booze
Exactly.
and other people, and I focused on making my home a safe haven. I made this mine. I removed every aspect of him out.
Yep.
There's no space in here that can remind me of him. Hmm.
Right. And in that phrase, you just can't do that, right? Because the more you keep pouring yourself into people, this is just like it's not going to work because you are a whole. That's who you are. You're just a whole piece of person. The more you sleep with people, You giving them 10%, maybe 5% of who you are. So they taking that 5% of who you are,
And
and you can't
and to
get that
that
five
point, I
percent
think
back.
that in
You
getting that
can't.
5%, they now have a perception of you that they're molding into who they want you to become, and that's not you. So acceptance,
In their mind.
yeah.
Great example. Great example. I moved out here to where I'm at in Minnesota, and I was on Tinder, and I was sleeping with a bunch of women and whatever. And this one girl, she decided to let me come over and sleep with her, and we had some good sex or whatever it was. I felt like it was good sex. She felt like it was good sex. Right? We both agreed that it was some good sex. We, whatever. And we didn't talk to each other for about a couple of days. And I hit her up, and I'm like, "Hey, you want me to slide through?" And she was like, "That was just a one off. I don't do that all the time. If you want to talk to me more, then we need to talk. But I'm not gonna let you keep coming over here and having sex with me all willy nilly without any conversations." And at that time, I'm like,
why,
"The fuck?
why are you
You
changing?
let me hit once. What the fuck the difference now?" But that was
Why are
her
you
putting up.
changing?
You know what I'm saying? Right. But now that I'm older, young, I'm older. Now that I'm older,
That night,
she was putting that boundary up. Like, nigga, I wanted it just as much as you. I was horny.
that night,
Right. I
yeah,
wanted it that
that
night.
night.
So I get why we did what we did. That was an even exchange. That was consent. But this is different. I don't want that now. I like you. I fuck with you. We had good sex, but
Right,
we need to build something more than just trying to do fuck buddy shit. We did not have a fuck buddy relationship. We didn't have a friends with benefits relationship. Just me and you talking. It led into that. I was horny. You was horny. I
right,
agreed to it. You traveled to me. We had some good sex. But I need more than just good sex, my dude.
right,
And I didn't understand that.
right.
I was just trying to get the next nut. I wasn't trying to be in no relationship anyways. I was trying to get the next nut off. So it is what it is.
Well,
But that's just where it is. And you
and I
just
agree with
need to
that
have that
because that's how
conversation
I
with
had
people,
lived
right?
my life.
And that's all it is.
I've been single for a very long time and I've traveled from state to state and I've dated a whole lot of people. And there's always a conversation involved. And there's an understanding. There was always an understanding. And so in this instance, when I came here, I knew I was going to be here for a while and didn't really need to travel anymore. So I was looking for a more stable type relationship. And so that's how this whole thing between him and I formed, because when you are ready for a relationship, man or woman, I think you put off certain vibes. And there are some people who are very good at picking that up. And some of them will do whatever they need to do to get what they want. Find you attractive. They may think you have a little money. They might just want to, hit and quit. Whatever the situation is, they're picking up on what you're putting down, but yet they're also going to add their own little spin to it. So it's up to you to know you and what it is that you want to do in order for you to be safe. Everybody out here is not trying to look for a safe space in a relationship. Some people are out here trying to use you.
Yep. They definitely are. They definitely are. It's
Well, I mean,
you
you're
know,
laughing. You sure you don't want to lay
I ain't
everybody
gonna go
in
there.
on the
I
joke?
ain't
I
gonna
mean,
go
we
there.
want to laugh too.
I ain't gonna go there.
Hell.
So it's no, no. We probably touch on that on the later podcast, but I'm not gonna go there because it just It's funny that you said people just try to use you. It's just funny that you said that. I got a notification that came up, and it literally
There's
relates
different
into
ways to
that, but
use
it's not a
people. So yeah,
relationship.
it's
I've
not
never been
always
with this
about a
person or anything like
relationship.
that. So, but
So go ahead.
we'll talk about that on a later date. I know, I know, I know, I know, I know. But it's just interesting. So my question to you is, though, stay on topic of what I wrote down and everything else here, is what is something that you what is something that you used to believe about relationships, but you no longer now?
That love conquers all. You know, we've been molded to believe in this rom-com world that love will make everything work. And funny story, I had a girlfriend who was married to a guy and they were having difficulties in their marriage. She wanted to go to marriage counseling and she set up the marriage counseling to go and she arrived there with the counselor and the counselor looked around and she said, "Oh, why are you here?" And she's like, "I want to save my marriage." And the counselor was like, "Where's your partner?" And she's like, "Well, he's not here." And she said, "So what is there to save?" She loved this man so much, she was willing to go to marriage counseling alone in order to try to save something that he wasn't in love with her enough to even show up for. You cannot be in a relationship by yourself. But yet we do that. We do it all the time. You know, we find ourselves so infatuated by somebody for whatever reason that we're
Mm.
willing to take on the brunt of everything, and this person is not even there for you. Can't do it by yourself. Love does not conquer all. It takes two people to be in a relationship. It takes two people to do the work. It takes two people to give 100%. I don't like that bullshit when people like, you give 50%, I give 50%, then it's 100%. No, you give me 100% of you, and I'm going to give you 100% of me, and then we're going to have
Mm.
100% of that relationship. That's the math
I
I'm
have to
looking
agree
for.
with you on that one. I have to agree. It's always you give the person that's you with everything of you, good, bad, the ugly, everything. You give it all. You give them all to them, and they gonna give it right back. They have to accept it, and then they gonna give it right back to you, and you have to
And
accept
they
them
have
on
to
that shit.
accept it.
You have
They
to.
have to they have to accept it. Yeah, exactly. You know, listen, don't tell me you love me today and you want to be with me today, but then a week from now you don't love me because I changed. Well, see, let me explain something to you. Nobody stays the same. If you are in the same place that you were in a year ago, there's something wrong. You are supposed to be constantly evolving, and the person who loves you is supposed to love
Like,
every aspect and every version of you because you don't change.
you know,
It's the
and then like
growth
Jay
in
Z
you
said
that
in a rap
changes the
song,
circumstance.
I can't be in a project hallways talking about being a project all day. You can't, or you can't. Like Bum B said in the song.
There you go.
Some
You
people
can't.
say money make the man, but I say man makes the money because it takes some change to make some change. So
Mhm. And you know I'm saying, and I've been here for forever, and I heard that they put it in a rap song because if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
hey, there you go. There you go. There you go. You know what I'm saying?
If
So
it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Get on out of here with that.
last topic. What are the keys of having a good relationship? Not a successful, not a best, but something that can just carry on to a good relationship where you can build on and turn it into a marriage. What are you looking for?
Honesty.
Oh,
Honesty.
oh.
Honesty. You know, you cannot build a foundation on lies. And at any point, if you are in a situation with somebody, a situationship, and you have found out that that person has lied to you about anything, it could be the smallest thing in the world. If they have chosen to lie to you about anything, move on. Move the fuck on. Because that lie is going to manifest into something else. And if you cannot believe them on the small stuff, you cannot trust them with the big stuff. So if you cannot give me truth and honesty, I'm going to have to pass. We can work around the communication. They got counseling for that.
Yeah,
But I'm going to need that truth.
off the top. Off the top. You need the truth off the top, no matter what it is. That honesty is a big thing, man. Honesty is a big thing. If you ain't got honesty, you ain't got nothing else. You know what I'm saying? You can learn to become healthy together. You can
Yeah.
learn to communicate. You
Yeah.
can learn to love each other a lot better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
honesty, you need that from day one.
There's always has to be a physical attraction. I think sometimes people think that that's superficial. Like, you gotta be fine to me. It's not a fine thing. But I gotta want to look at you in the middle of the night. I can't, roll over and be like, damn, what the fuck? Why am I here again? See, that ain't gonna work.
Right.
But once you get past that superficial and there's a chemistry there, then it get into the characteristics of that person. And once you get down to those fine-tuned things, you know, what they strongly believe in will play a big part in if that relationship is going to work. And so I have learned to listen more and speak less in the beginning of a relationship.
There you
Be-
go.
because when you have those people who are out here to prey on you, they pick up on all of those things that you're saying by your conversation, and it teaches them how to cater their conversation to you in order to get what they want. So
Mm.
if you're listening more, then you're able to pick up on their key characteristics and find out if that's something that you want as a part of your life.
Amen. 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 So now, guys, to wrap all this up, what is the take you'll take away from this podcast? Sweet B. Mama.
What do I take away from the podcast?
Yep.
This one, I would have to say I'm not gonna apologize, but I will say it was definitely a vent slash rant for me. And I will accept that at this moment I needed that. A lot of pent up energy that I needed to let go for, it's been building up for 5 months now. And where I did, do my share of fussing and cussing, with the person, there's still some things that you never really get off your chest. So I will say that in this particular podcast, I was able to get the rest of that pent up energy off of my chest and ask the question. And of course, I'm serious. I want hella feedback, please, to let me know, when did this become a thing where the person who initiates the breakup decides that what I initiated the breakup for didn't work for me, so now I want you back. And then the other person is supposed to just come running back. I don't understand that. That doesn't make sense to me. But I would say that learning to love yourself more than anything else, staying in love with you. When you trying to love someone else is key. Learn how to do that, people. Learn to remember to love you while you're trying to pursue love with somebody else.
And I will have to agree that the premise of all of this on this podcast, when it comes down to relationships, when you get into relationships, is self love is the best love. If you don't love yourself, you cannot love somebody else.
Exactly.
All right.
So,
And if you have to rebuild and research your love, even in the relationship, sometimes you just need a break. You need a day. You need a day to give you that self love. Go to the
yeah,
spa, go do something that you
yeah,
love to do without your partner being around, so you can recharge, so you'll be able to pour more back into that
yeah.
cup. This is something that you have to do regardless, in or out of a relationship. It's self love. You need that self care. You need that self love to be able to provide and to do things for the people around you and the people that
You know,
need you.
you know,
You know what I'm saying?
as a mother, as a true nurturer, as a mama bear, because I know that that's truly who I am. I give so much and I give it freely. And this is one of the things that we talked about in the earlier podcast, that I would take vacations, I would go away to recharge myself, to be able to come back stronger,
Yep.
to give back to my family. And then as I've gotten
Yep.
older and business wise and just doing so much, I tend to forget that I'm still me and I need to love myself.
Yep.
And so I will say
Yep.
again, I hold some responsibility in everything that happened because I was so focused on putting into him and making sure he knew that I was there for him. I forgot to put back into myself.
And that's something that you always have to do. You got to
Hmm.
put back into yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, self love is the best love, you know? So that is it for this podcast, guys. I know it's a short one, but don't forget to like, comment, give feedback to my mom. She asking for it. Give it back to her. If you on the internet and you listening to it, it don't take nothing but a minute to go
Yeah.
ahead and type how you feel. It,
Yeah,
it don't take
tell me
nothing
like
but
you
a minute.
you old fool.
All right.
Yeah. I'm here
It
for it.
take
I'm here
nothing
for
but
it.
a
I'm
minute.
good, bad, and indifferent. Talk to me.
E- Exactly. Exactly. So, please comment, like, share, follow the podcast so when you know when the next one is going to drop. All that good stuff. All right, guys? And if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Go ahead. We coming back with
Do that. Do
back
that.
to backs. All right. Much
Thank
love,
you
guys.
for listening to Resolve Dispute with your host Black Thor and Sweet Bee. Don't forget to download and follow the podcast so you can be notified when the next episode drops.